Joined by Governor Healey, and so excited to hear from her about the amazing impact that her administration's tax cuts are having for our seniors. We're honored to be joined by State Delegation, State Senator Brendan Crichton, State Representative Dan Cahill, State Representative Jenny Armini. Thank you for being here. City Councilor at Large Nicole McLean and School Committee Member Lorraine Gately are here. And we are joined by some amazing partners who are able to support our community every day. We're honored to be here in the Senior Center. The City of Lynn went some time without a Senior Center, and thanks to support from the city, from our state partners, from our federal partners, we've been able to build and are still building this beautiful place that has really been driven by the seniors and by this community. And it's been a real honor to be a part of that. And we see every day in this building how important that community is, and also the struggles that they're having. And part of those struggles is the ever-increasing cost of living. And so to have the availability of this tax relief from the Healey-Driscoll administration and with the support of the legislature, I know is helping them make it through, and we really appreciate it. So on behalf of the City of Lynn, welcome Governor Healey. I also want to thank our Senior Center team. We're going to hear from Megan Best later, but she is amazing. She works with our Director of Public Health, Lisa Tobin, and really the entire Senior Center team, Tanya, who introduced us on the way in, and the whole crew. You can see in there the energy there, and that's because they are supported by an amazing team that has allowed them to kind of design their own community, and they're there for one another, and it's wonderful to see, and we're so excited to be able to share that moment with the governor here. So welcome, Governor Healey.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Good morning, and thank you so much, Mayor Nicholson. It's great to be here in the great city of Lynn. To members of the City Council, Elder Services Director, Megan Best, we'll hear from you shortly. It's great. I just had a great time. I called bingo, and I had to practice a little bit because it's actually harder than it looks. I was talking too fast and I was talking too slow, but anyhow, a lot of fun and great energy there, and taking care of those who have taken care of us is so fundamental to who we are as a community, as a state, and it's great to see that in action here today in Lynn. And I just thank all the staff at the Lynn Senior Center for everything that is done. I also, in addition to thanking Mayor Nicholson, we've been here a lot. We've been here. We talked about the commuter rail. That platform we got fixed. There's a lot of housing development we stood in front of not too long ago. A lot of great things here happening in Lynn. We're an administration that is so proud to be able to work with the mayor and with our great delegation here. So to Senator Crichton and Representatives Cahill and Armini, thank you so much for the partnership. One of the things we get to talk about today is the tax cuts that we promised and delivered to people in Massachusetts. I know we have members of the Senior Action Council who are here today. Jen DeSimone, Aging and Independence Chief of Staff. Thank you so much for your presence and your work in the administration. As I mentioned, we have Senior Action Council members here today, all the blue shirts. It's awesome to see. And they've been forceful advocates in standing up to and against President Trump's efforts to attack Social Security or Medicare or Medicaid or other critical benefits, and I just really appreciate them making their voices heard. I also want to thank Latino leaders from Salem and Lynn, Jolene Genoa and Carolina Trujillo, who are members of our Latino Empowerment Council that we set up a while back. We really appreciate that. We also have Pastor Cesaros and Rosario from Raw Arts here, and we appreciate them as well. So today, President Trump is calling today Liberation Day, and I don't really know why, because he's not really liberating anyone or anything. In fact, what he's doing is imposing a tax on all of us, and it's a tax that we're going to be paying from the time we get up to the time we go to bed. We are here in Massachusetts. I'd like to say we know something about liberty. We're the place in this country that invented true liberty. We also coined the phrase, no taxation without representation. And when we talk about liberating you from high taxes, we actually mean it here in Massachusetts. With taxes due in less than 2 weeks, we're here to let everyone know that that's exactly what we did. We cut state taxes for the first time in over 20 years. That's why this year you will be paying less than before, and for many people, including seniors and families with children, you'll be getting more money back than ever before. But here's what you need to know. In order to get that money back, you have to know how to file and take advantage of that. 2 years ago, when we started in office, we knew that the cost of living was a challenge for so many, and that's why we set out to cut taxes, to build more housing so that rents could go down and prices could go down. More recently, we announced a plan to lower energy costs because people have been getting really hit by high energy costs, and so I came out with a plan that we can implement to lower energy costs by $6 billion for ratepayers over the next 5 years here. But on taxes, we were determined to deliver a tax cut and save people money. And already we've sent hundreds of millions of dollars back to people, back to their pockets across Massachusetts, and there is more to come this year. So let's start with our seniors. If you are 65 or older, you can get a tax credit to help with your housing costs. It's called the Senior Circuit Breaker. When we took office, the maximum amount that you could get was $1,200. In this day and age, with rents and mortgage payments what they are, it isn't enough. So we doubled it. And this year, with inflation, you can get over $2,700 back, over $2,700 back in your pocket if you qualify. Last year, more than 64,000 seniors took advantage of that credit. They've got an average of $1,000 more back than they did in the past. And so we want people to take advantage of this year as well. Families, anyone with a child out there or a dependent at home, when we took office, you could get a $180 credit for up to 2 children or dependents in your family. That wasn't enough, and it didn't make any sense. You know, if I was a family of 5, it didn't make any sense to have a cap for just 2 kids, and you couldn't get credit for the other 3 kids who are costing you money every single day, and you want to be able to buy them sneakers and clothes and food and all that, right? So here's what we did. We raised it, and now our child and family tax credit is $440 per child or dependent adult. And you get that for every single child or adult that you care for. No cap. What this means is now Massachusetts families get the largest child tax credit in the entire country. So if you have 2 kids, you'll be getting back $880. If you have 3 kids, you'll be getting back $1,320, where before you only got $630 back. Your credit will be increasing by nearly $1,000. That's real money. Same thing if you care for a dependent adult in your house. You don't have to do any extra paperwork. All you have to do is file your taxes. And it's not only the new tax cut that families may be eligible for. If you qualify for the Earned Income Tax Credit, we increased that too. Last year, that bump alone gave an extra $250 to over 326,000 families. With 2 or 3 children, you could now be looking at a combined federal and state credit close to $10,000. We also cut the estate tax, so if your home has gone up in value, you won't be taxed as much for passing that on to others in your family. And we increased the credits that businesses use to provide employee benefits, like train passes, student loan forgiveness, apprenticeship training, and more. Look, Massachusetts is the greatest state in this country. We're number 1 for education, number 1 for healthcare, number 1 for innovation. We are the safest state in the country. Lowest rate of gun deaths, traffic deaths, second highest in life expectancy. Safest drinking water in the country. We're also ranked the best place to have a baby and to raise a family. But affordability is an issue that people around Massachusetts and around this country struggle with. So we are laser focused on making life more affordable for people here in Massachusetts. We started cutting taxes. It's worked. We're going to continue to work on this. I just want to make sure that people take advantage of this. I'll also remind you, we put in place for the first time ever a low-income fare discount on the MBTA. I mentioned what we're doing around housing, and I just want to give a shout out to Lynn, because with the tax credit that we also did in that package that was filed and signed, We increased housing production in gateway cities like Lynn by 600% in just the last 18 months alone. We made school meals, breakfast and lunch, cost-free, remember? We made it affordable for families, more affordable for families to go to our state colleges and universities. We're putting more money into primary care and into mental health. And we recently launched that new energy affordability agenda to lower high gas and electric bills that everybody's been dealing with. So we're going to keep going, but my message to everyone this week is please visit mass.gov/tax cuts and take advantage of the ways to get more money back for your families, whether you're a senior, whether you've got kids or dependents at home, whether you're a small business owner, whether you're a student or a renter. There are ways for you to save, get more money back in your pocket. We want to put more money back in people's pockets. I now would like to invite Megan Best to say more about the fantastic seniors that I just got to spend time with here at the center. Megan.
I would like to express my sincere gratitude and acknowledge the invaluable support and opportunity that the Healey District team has provided for families in the Commonwealth. As a member of the Massachusetts Grandparent Commission and the director of a Council on Aging, I have witnessed the profound impact of Governor Healey's legislative initiatives for families' financial security. It is paramount in ensuring the stability of families. The senior circuit, tax break credit, and the child tax break credit are critical for families. I have 2 grandparents who are raising grandchildren in the Lynn Senior Center right now that are utilizing that tax credit. I have an additional grandparent who is raising a grandchild who is 86 years old who is using the child credit. So those things are so impactful for our families. So for the 2 vulnerable populations that are near and dear to my heart, children and seniors, I thank the Healey-Driscoll team for its commitment to ensuring that Massachusetts families have the resources they need. Please join me in welcoming Governor Healey back to the podium.
Thank you, Megan. Thank you. Thank you. We're happy to take questions. I was just reminded of my grandparents, who I miss every single day. They were a big presence in my life, and I remember sitting around my grandmother's kitchen table in Newburyport, and she would be cutting coupons and, always looking for ways to save money, timing trips to stores to coincide with sales, always going to Market Basket because it had the cheapest prices. But, they didn't have a lot of money. And my grandfather worked here actually at the GE in Lynn alongside his brothers for many, many years, had a pension, had to retire after his 3rd heart attack. And my grandmother was a nurse, and she kept working for as long as she could. But at the end of the day, it becomes tougher and tougher, with prices going up and costs going up. They had grandkids that they helped raise themselves. And so I just think about my grandparents, and I think about all of the grandparents out there and our seniors out there who deserve a break, And we are working hard to deliver for them. That's for sure. And I know I'll continue to work with the legislature on this. Happy to take any questions at this time.
Are there any services or programs to assist seniors who are going through the process to go to the website?
Yeah, I mean, go to the website. Go to the website at mass.gov/tax cuts. Super easy way to find information and how to file taxes is there. Anything else we want to add on that in terms of assistance?
Yes, there are.
You should say who you are, too. Come up to the mic. Thank you. Nice to see you.
Luz Arevalo from Greater Boston Legal Services. Yes, there are free tax preparation sites all over Massachusetts, and they also have websites, and we can send that to you as soon as we're done. But I want to mention something. Disabled folks, you have done this for disabled
That's right.
relatives as well, and that's a big group. And the other group that is included, thank you, immigrants, immigrant taxpayers. They also pay their taxes just like everyone else, and they are included in this benefit. So thank you, Governor.
Thank you. Thank you. You want to say anything? Thank you.
I'm Ray Eastman, taxpayer advocate for the Department of Revenue, and we have a lot of resources on our website for taxpayers. We have free filing options. There's Mass Tax Connect, where taxpayers can file in Massachusetts for free. And we are also participating in the Direct File program with the federal government, which also offers free filing for Massachusetts taxpayers, both for federal purposes and for Massachusetts.
Yeah, thank you for that, and thank you to you and your team for the work you're doing day in and day out, so people are able to take advantage of these tax credits and tax refunds.
Governor, a little bit off topic, but you mentioned a few of the Trump administration's actions. K-12 education cuts we just heard about. The impact on the state, I believe Lynn was actually on that list.
Yeah. Look, it's another example of how devastating the Trump administration has been. The cuts to healthcare, the cuts to research for all sorts of cures and treatments, now cuts to education. Yesterday, we saw more cuts to health and human services, including the firing of 10,000 health and human services employees, including many here in Massachusetts, and the shuttering of another HHS office here in Massachusetts. Education funding, look, you know, it's quite a contrast. What Donald Trump is doing, slashing funding for education, and what I am doing. What we're doing here in Massachusetts, we're focused on making more investments in education, more investments on mental health services for young people and students, more investments in literacy to make up for some of the loss experienced during COVID and the pandemic, more childcare seats. That's what we've done, just as a few examples. But coming after Title I funding, coming after special ed funding, taking aides out of classrooms who are working with our young people who may have different physical or other disabilities, it doesn't make any sense. The literacy experts and aides who are in classrooms, it doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make us stronger. It doesn't make us smarter. It doesn't make us more competitive. So, you know, I don't understand why Donald Trump is doing these things, but I know here in Massachusetts, through the great work of mayors and our legislators and others, we're going to remain committed to doing all we can to support our young people. I hope that Donald Trump reverses these actions, because it doesn't make any sense to dismantle education in this country.
340,000 for Lynn. I was just curious, Mr. Mayor, if you had sort of a comment on that and what impact it will have on students here.
Yeah, it's absolutely outrageous that money would be cut. We were fortunate to receive the ESSER funding that we did, and we put it to great use with some really important projects throughout the district. Some of those projects, because of construction challenges that we were all experiencing, were just a little bit over the timeline. We went through the process that was laid out to get the approval to do that, and have done it. The work is done. There's a beautiful facility opening soon, actually, for special education students, some of whom are medically fragile and have pretty significant needs, and they're going to have a great space that is also better suited for their needs and relieve some overcrowding that was some of the underlying issues that we experienced during the pandemic. And that's what that money is going to and should go to. And we will, I'm sure, stand with the Healey-Driscoll administration, the Attorney General's office, and whoever can help us with this to try to reverse those cuts.
Because I mean, these were funds that were appropriated, that were already sent to us to use, right, as a state and as cities and towns across Massachusetts. And, you know, that money has been put to good use and will continue to be. So it's ridiculous that they're seeking to claw this money back, to take this away. All set? Okay, great. Thanks, everybody.